All right, listen, whenever Attorney Kenneth Hiller joins us, we learn a lot about help for Social Security cases and veterans benefits. So this morning, we're going to jump right in and find out how one should choose an attorney for your Social Security case. Good morning. Nice to have you back.
Nice to be here.
You were in Italy too not too long ago.
I had gelato every day.
Oh, it was the best, wasn't it? Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah. All right, let's get down to business here. How should one choose an attorney for a Social Security case?
Well, these days, I think you really have to have an aggressive attorney. Social Security is denying more and more cases, more than ever before. And I think a question you should ask your attorney is how many times they go to federal court. Because you get a hearing before a judge, they deny 50% of the cases, and many attorneys will just drop the case at that point. They just take the low-hanging fruit and they say, sorry, you lost, and they go on to their next case. We don't do that. We appeal these cases aggressively. We go to federal court and we get 2/3 of the cases we take to federal court reversed and get a client's a new hearing. So you need an attorney who will aggressively fight your case.
So is that hearing the first initial thing that happens?
No, first you apply, and 2/3 of people get denied. That takes about 4 months.
Oh.
Then you request a hearing, and that takes over 2 years. 2 years to get a hearing before a judge, and they approve about 50% nationally.
And now, let's look at this process if you're not being represented by somebody. You're really going into this blind and you have no idea that you've got that kind of time ahead of you.
That's correct. You go into that hearing, I mean, I feel really sorry for some of these people who just walk in and they're blindsided. I mean, judges are there. There's some judges who approve only like 20 or 30% of the cases they hear. They're not your friend usually. There's some good judges, but there's a lot of judges, boy, I would not want to be there without a lawyer. And they have experts there. I mean, how equipped is the average person to cross-examine an expert? But there are job experts, sometimes they have doctors there, and you need a lawyer to represent you to navigate that process.
Well, let's talk about your office. You have attorneys here in Buffalo and also in Rochester?
Yes, we have office. Our main office is in Amherst, near Niagara Falls Boulevard. It's on North Bailey. And that's our major plant of operation. Most of our employees are there. We have an office in Buffalo on Delaware Avenue, and we have an office in Rochester.
And I ask that because you know you always want to know where the attorney's office is. But you were saying most of the calls come in by phone because the people who are who need your help are disabled.
Yes, I mean we offer that every client. Prospective client who calls, we offer them the opportunity to come in and meet with us. Most of them opt to do it by telephone, and we just send them the forms and we review them and go over them with them, and then we file it, and people are grateful that they don't have to get in their car and come to an office.
When you get to that hearing, do they need to show up in person, or do just you
No,
go?
they have to show up in person. And it's good because if you meet with the judge, there's a connection. It's a human connection, and that increases your chance of winning as opposed to, say, by telephone.
So what happens at the hearing?
Well, you get sworn in, and the judge, it depends on the judge, but generally you're asked questions about your age, your educational background, your work history, your medical problems. And then in most cases these days, there's a job expert or vocational expert. And the judge will ask this expert questions. Can this person work with the limitations that I find? And it's up to the lawyer, or you if you don't have a lawyer, to cross-examine that expert, who is oftentimes a hired gun by the judge to try to find a way to deny your case. Like somebody will have severe limitations, and the expert will say, oh yes, there's a lot of jobs this person could do. And it's often really bogus, and you need to cross-examine the expert to poke holes in their testimony. All
right, we're going to continue on this because I find this fascinating. We're going to be back right after this, more with Kenneth Hiller, talking about Social Security and also why and how a lawyer can help you get veterans benefits too. So stay right there.